Today, let's analyze an Indian accent, specifically a Telugu speaker who's been in the US for 3.5 years, and he's a software engineer.
So I took training in Java and other technologies.
So in this first sentence, it reminded me of a shotgun. Technologies instead of technologies. So what we need to do is we need to lengthen your stressed vowels more and reduce your unstressed vowels more. Right now, your syllables all sound somewhat the same in energy. When you say Java, notice I say Java. I stress the first syllable more. Java. When you did it, it sounded like Java.
Java, Java.
Now, when you did the ah in jaw, yours sounded like it was in your throat. Java. When I do it, I relax my throat and the A or the ah vowel sinks all the way down into my chest. Java. Now the ah is a little bit lower than the second syllable, So we have Java. But the throat is super relaxed the whole time. Now when you said the word took, it should be a clear T at the beginning of the word. Yours sounded a little bit like a D.
I took.
So I took training. But it should be, so I took training, took. You need to have more firmer contact between the tip of your tongue and the top of your mouth, and then quickly release. The air pressure builds up behind your tongue before you release your tongue. Then all that air just explodes out of your mouth. Took. Now in the word technologies, you kind of equally stressed each syllable, like technologists.
Technologies.
But I want to stress null the most, and that's that short O vowel again, where we have to get really low down here. Technology. Now the ending, if you put an S on it, would just be ease, a long E and a Z sound. Technologies. So if I said this sentence, I would say it all in one breath of air, so that the energy in air is exiting my mouth at a uniform rate across the whole sentence. Imagine I'm pulling the air out of my mouth, and my tongue and lips are just shaping that air. So I took training in Java and other technologies.
So I took training in Java and other technologies.
Notice that my pitch went higher on jaw and technol. So I took training in Java and other technologies. Instead of, so I took training in Java and other technologies.
Then I got into a project, and in that project I worked as a junior programmer.
In the next segment, you said, then I got into your project. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You might have meant, then I got into a 2-year project. But I heard, then I got into your project.
Then I got into a project.
Now when you said the word got, which should be a short O vowel, deep in your chest with a relaxed throat, I felt that you held that O in your throat and you said it very quickly. Then I got into your project. Then I got. That's caught in my throat. Instead, relax the throat. If you yawn like I just did, kind of sigh, you can really relax your throat. And end up down here. Then I got instead of got. Then I got into a 2-year project. Now in project, again, you want to lower into the chest. Project. And it's not projects, it's just project. So for the word stress, we stress the first syllable of project.
Project.
Then you said, and in that project, I worked as a junior programmer. When you said junior, your long U in Ju was super quick and held up in your throat.
junior.
Junior. It's junior. Really use those lips to project the voice forward. This long U should sound like it's going forward and out the mouth, not stuck in the throat. Junior. Also, you'll go up in pitch on junior. Junior. And when you say programmer, don't say programmer.
Programmer.
Programmer. It's programmer. Very smooth airflow, stressing the first syllable. That long O in pro should also think really forward and at the same time lots of resonance down in your chest. Programmer, not stuck in the throat. So let's try saying this sentence in 2 breaths of air. Then I got into a 2-year project. And in that project, I worked as a junior programmer. So if you wanted to say 2-year, you really need to emphasize the number 2 so that I don't think you said into. 2 has to have a very long U sound. You'll round your lips a lot, ooh, and project that sound forward, out in front of you. 2-year project.
My main activities was to work with a senior programmer and do all the activities, whatever he assigns to me.
When you say activities.
Activities.
And we're going to stress tiv. Activities. Now when you do the I in tiv, we want to stress that short I. It should feel like it's right under your nose. Activities. You have a little grammar problem here, subject-verb agreement. My main activities was. It should be my main activities were. Also, you chunked your words in the wrong place. So we wouldn't chunk the words between a and programmer. A programmer has to stay together in one unit. It's a noun phrase. So you said was to work with a senior programmer.
With a senior programmer.
Instead, it should be was to work with a senior programmer. My main activities were to work with a senior programmer.
My main activities was to work with a senior programmer.
My main activities were to work with a senior programmer.
And do all the activities, whatever he assigns to me.
Next you said, and do all the activities, whatever he assigns to me. First of all, assigns is present tense, and you started the sentence with the past tense, so let's keep the tenses uniform. Whatever he assigned to me. Again, you stopped between do and all.
Do all.
I would want to keep those words together and do all the activities. In fact, we link do and all with a W. Do all. And do all the activities, whatever he assigned to me. Also, you stress the word he. Whatever he assigns to me.
Whatever he.
We don't need to stress he. And we don't even need to say the H. Whatever he assigns to me.
Basically, the coding, the development part of the project.
Next you said, basically the coding.
Basically, the coding.
Now in the word basically, your A was stuck in your throat. A should feel like it's up here in your head, above your ears. Feel that ringing above your ears. Basically, instead of
basically.
Also in the word coding, you needed to highlight the O more, stretch it out, think forward out of your mouth and not stuck in your throat.
The coding.
Basically the coding. Now you need less energy on the ing. Coding. Up, down. Coding. Basically the coding. Next you said, the development part of the project.
The development part of the project.
Now in development, I stress the VEL. Development. You kind of stressed the duh and you said development.
The development.
So notice the stress of that word. It's not development, it's development. Again, you'll want to stretch out that VEL and feel that short E ringing right in front of your mouth. Development. Make sure it gets out of your throat and resonates in front of your mouth. The development part of the project. The development part of the project. Basically, the coding, the development part of the project.
Basically, the coding, the development part of the project.
Basically, the coding, the development part of the project. So overall, we looked at a few consonants. We tried to change the placement of your vowels and get them out of your throat. You need to relax your throat. And then you need to work on saying everything on the breath, in one breath of air, and not stopping like a shotgun in between every syllable. We want to speak smoothly. That'll help your audience listen to you and want to listen to you. Okay, learn more by taking some of my courses on Udemy. I have courses for Indian speakers about consonants and vowels, and I also have a word stress course for everybody.